welcome to GloryHoundd and the Uninvited Gamers. I'm your host, GloryHoundd, and tonight's Uninvited Gamers are...
Dr. GloryHoundd.
Greg Dixon.
Oh, and today we were going to talk about some stuff, but I don't have other stuff. I don't have a Twitter poll that I listed. Is there anything special you guys want to talk about?
I did a Twitter poll.
This is the casual edition.
You did a
you did a Twitter poll?
Yeah, I did a Twitter poll on nyctophobia, which we'll be talking about later.
Okay, well, do we have anything else that we want to talk about, or we can just skip our small talk? Oh, we went to Game On Expo yesterday. There we go. We went to Game On Expo.
And by yesterday, we mean 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right.
By the time I hear it, yes.
By the time you guys hear this, it's long been
Game
passed.
On Expo, which is a video game, primarily video game, but they
primarily
had board
a video game
role
convention.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they did have board game and role playing this year.
Cosplay contest.
Yeah, they did.
It's definitely sort of a geek, like all things geek.
Geek culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I just started with video games.
Yeah, you're
now,
walking up and down the booths. There's all kinds of like Game of Thrones stuff.
Sure,
and like
anything.
That's right.
We bought art, and then we bought like a PlayStation 4 controller.
Like a little plushie. Well, we bought a scuff controller.
Yeah, and
for
then we
PS4.
I bought some really, really tiny dice from the Spiel Pro booth.
Yeah, we got dice.
We got dice. We got rainbow dice from Spiel Pro booth. Yeah. Spiel Pro people are good, so yeah. I've been looking for those little rainbow dice for a while now. And then what else do we get? We got little plushy magnet things, which are super adorable. You can see them on my Instagram.
It was like a mini version of Phoenix Fan Fest, Comic Con, Fan Fusion.
But there was a pretty good turnout for like the board game side of things. Like there were several booths that were board game related.
They're getting bigger and bigger this year.
And the tables
every year.
area, there was probably, 15 tables that people just playing board games.
They're pretty Whenever they first started out, they did not have a really good board game following.
Right.
A lot of their stuff wouldn't run, and they were a lot smaller. They were in the Mesa Convention Center.
How many people do you think were there? I was trying to judge.
It was it was like 10,000 plus-ish, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
That's
well, they took over the Phoenix Convention Center, the South Building. So just the South Building.
Right. But was there like we only went for one day, and we were in that one main room the whole time. Were there other big rooms?
Just
no. There's other rooms.
Oh, was there really?
Was there really?
Mm-hmm.
What other rooms were there?
There's pictures of other rooms where people were playing RPGs, and they had the cosplay contest in a different room.
That was right behind us.
There was...
The RPG room was right behind us.
That's still a whole other room that he could not see.
Well, my point was just that it felt like... It didn't feel like 10,000. I mean, it felt like 1,000 people or something, which I still thought was pretty good.
It's more than that, I think.
Okay, I don't know.
It had to have been more than that, just because of the price for them to.
You wouldn't rent.
Yeah, rent out the convention center. They have to be making at least a decent amount of money.
It's got to be doing pretty well.
But
it was good. It was fun.
It was fun. It was a nice one to go to. Yeah, to just kind of play some games, but mostly check out like video game stuff and everything, because you can purchase a lot of like NES, Super NES, like older video games.
And they bring a bunch of
arcade
arcade games.
Yeah,
like
they bring
Killer Queen,
and you get to do some virtual reality stuff there.
Oh yeah, there's two different virtual reality things there.
And then there was also Maricopa Con this weekend, which is purely a board game RPG convention as well. So it sucks that they had like competing conventions this week, but I know a lot of people that went to both, which is kind of the cool way to do it, because if you want to go and you want to get some like
if it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, you can go to both.
Right, yeah, you can go to both. So that was pretty cool. But today, we're going to talk about what we played this week.
Oh, yeah.
Today, well, not today, but
earlier,
very recently,
I played Expancity by Breaking Games. It's a game for 10 plus and for 2 to 4 players, and it lasts about 45 to 60 minutes, and they really mean 60 minutes, okay? So
yeah,
I played this game 2-player and I played it 4-player, and I feel like both times it was 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like barely makes it into the playtime. It sounds like, okay.
This is a really interesting game because it's a beautiful looking game. Like, this game blew up with all the pictures online on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff.
Because it's a stacking game.
It's a stacking game, but it looks amazing. Like, you're building tiny little cities.
Like skyscrapers. It looks cool.
Right. But in actuality, all this game is a tile placement game where you score points off of which tiles you're placing and what you're building on.
And then how many bits you have on that tile.
Yeah, and how many bits you have on that tile.
Which is your little stories of your building.
Yeah, which I like going up the stories. But I found a real problem with the colors that they had on the game, because they have a blue player and a green player, but then they also have blue tiles and green tiles.
Which one's residential, one's commercial, and they play very differently.
Yeah, and like if I'm a blue player and I'm putting blue tiles on a green thing, like my brain, I don't know why, but my brain just wanted to keep confusing the residential and commercial tiles. Like, I still cannot tell you what color the residential ones and which one were the commercial ones.
Residential was green, and the commercial is
sure?
blue. Yes, because I made the thing about it's more green because you got houseplants.
Did they have Did they have like a? I haven't played the game, so did they have like a player aid or something that made it easy to kind of reference what the colors meant?
Yeah, you had a player aid that you had,
got a little card.
but I had to look at that card every single time because for some reason in my head,
what could they have done to fix it?
Not have them not use blue and green in two different contexts.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Either make the player colors different or the tiles
because
different.
if I'm placing down like my blue things on everything, I kept on wanting to think, okay, this is like commercial or whatever the heck it was, residential or whatever. Even if it was placed on a green tile. So a lot of times I'd go back and I'd be like, okay, remember, you're looking at the tiles with what you're doing. And then just having, it was residential was green, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Having residential as a green tile, for some reason, just didn't make sense in my head.
It works.
Does that make any sense?
No, I don't mind it.
It was the oddest thing.
I feel like
when
suburbs.
I think of residential, I think of like the little parks and stuff and the green belts and
I don't know if it's like because I played too much Sim City like when I was a kid or something or like
See, I feel
what
like
it was. But there was
something. So for me,
in my head that could not click for commercial versus residential tiles. I had to look at that player aid every time.
Commercial should have just been slate gray because it's
gray.
concrete.
I like gray for commercial.
Because what do you? I mean, when you
or
think
silver or something like that.
Yeah, you think of concrete because that's what you see in
a lot of
high-rises.
So when you're laying down the tiles, you lay down the tiles and then you have like things you can put next to it, like a bank or like a police office or something, and that's going to give you negatives or positives per each level of your design. Okay.
Right.
Like, that's really, besides that and then placing like an empty spot next to somebody else's thing, I mean, you're so concentrated on building your own stuff, there was actually very little player interaction in that game.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though you're all building the same stuff on the same plane, like, I rarely did anything to hurt somebody else's game.
And you're rushing to try to get, like, you're just basically trying to do it for the points. Like, there's not like... I don't think there's any kind of theme or reason why you're doing it.
You're just doing it for points.
I'm
so
trying
it's
to maximize points.
I dropped
based
this
off what
tile
tiles
next to this,
mine.
and I dropped this tile next to this, and now instead of every layer being 1 point, now every layer's 3 points each.
And that's based off of tiles that you randomly draw out of the bag, and you draw out 2, and you get to keep 1.
Yeah.
So there's not even a lot of like pre-planning you can do. There's times where I wanted to build commercial, but all I had was residential, so I couldn't complete my goals.
Are there ways to like block people or take tiles away?
Okay, so the only way
next to somebody that
the only way to block people would be is if I had, like, say, a police station. You didn't want police station next to, say, residentials, whatever it says on the tile. So it gives you a negative. So I put that next to the buildings you're building, and now instead of each layer being a 1, it's like
a 0.
Okay. So it sounds like it can be pretty nasty.
But you don't get enough of that stuff that, like, it's...
In a 60-minute game, there's not enough time.
And you can only place one tile a turn, too. So it's like you can be like, this is good for me, this is bad for them.
Right, so you're more often choosing to help yourself.
This game was 30 minutes too long.
Okay, okay.
30 minutes too, because, like, as you're building and stuff, it was just... I wanted to like this game so bad because it looks amazing, but it was a completely lackluster game.
Unfortunately, when we were about 30 minutes into it, 3 out of the 4 players were ready just to stop and move on to something else, and only one was like, let's finish it.
It looks cool. I mean...
This is a game
like you said, the look of it on the table grabs your eye.
It's good for the gram. It's good for Instagram.
Yeah, it's good for the gram.
Good for the gram.
Do it for the gram.
This is a game that I would let, like, maybe my kid play, and they might enjoy it, but even then it might be a little too long for them, you know?
Well, have you played Manhattan? Like the old...
I've heard that it's just a better version of it.
Yeah, and Manhattan's been around for 20 years or something, and it's the same thing. You're building the towers. They just reprinted it recently. Yeah. They made it really colorful, have a great table presence. And this just sounds like it's no better than that or worse than that. Then
well, and for
what's
me,
the
if
point?
you don't add some type of monster that's trying to knock over the buildings.
That was the other thing I wanted to do.
Maple City.
Yeah, I wanted to just take the terror of Maple City guys and just run them through that city afterwards.
In Manhattan, it is area control. I mean, it is cutthroat.
Yeah.
Every move you make helps yourself and potentially hurts someone else.
Build
this
out.
was not cutthroat.
So you just build away from other people.
Not even close.
Yeah, this sounds more like a Quadropolis or something like that than it does like
it was
Manhattan,
pretty boring.
That's
which
a
was
bummer.
kind of sad.
Because it looks, like you said, it looks good
really
on the gram.
I really wanted it to be good because it looked amazing, and the pieces are amazing. Like the pieces are really nice and stuff. I like the towers.
That's not enough.
I didn't like the colors,
No.
but like that was about it. Yeah.
It just becomes a math equation. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what's 4 times 12, and then I get this, and then I could turn this card and get another 7.
Well, and like
wasn't
I
a
went
lot.
ahead and played a
Wasn't what I
game.
wanted.
I played a game with the Game Boy Geek, and one of my turns I scored like 82 points or something.
Whoa.
And like after I lapped him, like the board one time, we're just like, all right, well.
Then even more
Okay.
reason to just go like, why are we still playing?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Now we
is
have to still play for
even
another
when
30
it was
minutes.
tight, we looked at it, and I
you
didn't even
score as you
anymore.
go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but our game wasn't tight either because I lapped the board.
Well,
one
I
more. Oh no,
stopped.
wait. Bink
if
did
you-
catch up at the end
If
because
you
he got
remember,
the
I
end
stopped
conditions.
doing anything. I just started laying down tiles and just putting down
Yeah.
like one thing, and then
I haven't
my
played
turn's over.
I haven't played the game, but it sounds like it needs like hidden objectives or something where it's like if you can get
You
like
have
3
those,
of these, it does have those.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't
They're
enough.
I
like
just
once you
got-
complete a building, you can get these objective cards, and you look at them, and you're like, okay, I can maybe do this, or you
Or
can play
sometimes
it if
you
you've
can't.
already done it.
So
but
it would say like you need to have 3 residential around a hospital. Well, if you're only drawing 1 tile a turn and you've only got 2 tiles in your hand, you might just never see a hospital.
Yeah.
Or you might never see 3 residentials in a row. You just might not be able to complete that quest. And so
Yeah.
I just got bored, so I stopped scoring. I just didn't even I would cap a building, which normally you'd score, and I would just be like, my turn's over, and like, oh, aren't you gonna score that? I'm like, no, it's good, go ahead. Which that takes a lot for me to just not like I didn't.
This
It's
was
not
a-
like you just wanted to speed things along and
Yeah,
get to the
I just-
end.
This was
Yeah.
a super bummer though for me, guys. I was super sad about this. So I mean,
But-
I'm sure people are gonna like this that want a very extremely light game. I would play this maybe with my grandma if she wanted something like new and interesting to play or something, or like
It's
a
gonna have
kid or
its niche.
something.
It's just not my
like-
niche for sure.
Yeah.
But good news is we played an awesome game, an amazing game. Forbidden Sky. I'm ready. Let's move on.
Wow, that was a really slick
That was
segue.
a
I don't
yeah.
care.
That segue was.
That was
whew.
awkward.
You don't.
That was
need-
so awkward, and I kept on
Yes.
waiting for like the thing to happen,
I
and
thought he
it
was
just
gonna
never
say
happened. I thought it.
something
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Forbidden Sky.
Tell us about
When
Forbidden
you're talking
Sky.
about a game you don't like versus a game you do like, I just wanted that game to be over.
Let's move on. You illustrated the desire to move on.
Yes, Forbidden Sky. This game is amazing. I got to play this. We snagged a copy of this from Gen Con. GloryHoundd was there at Gen Con, and she snagged a copy of it, and Game Boy
He's
Geek
like-
grabbed a copy of
yeah.
it, and they had limited amounts they had there.
They were doing
and the
100
game
a day
is
on 'em.
Amazing. I like Forbidden. Was it Forbidden Island?
Forbidden Island
Yeah.
and Forbidden Desert.
Desert.
I like both of those.
Yeah.
I feel like Forbidden Island you can kind of figure out, and I can generally beat it. I'm not usually afraid I'm going to lose unless there's a really bad
It's very
tile flip.
basic. Like Forbidden Island's pretty basic.
This one, though, I have played it 3 times recently, 3 times this last week, which I don't usually get to do with games because we get so many new games in that we're trying out that I don't usually get to play 3 times. I played this 3 times.
I play all the games.
It's your fault for buying them. This is I played it 3 times in the last 4 days, and I have lost on the last turn every single time, and I just want more. Like I want to play it again.
This one is pure.
We
pure
should stop the
co-op.
podcast and
Please,
start playing
I
it.
want some more.
This one's pure co-op as well, like the others. Is that right?
Oh yeah, it
yes,
definitely
it's
is.
pure
Okay.
co-op. Yeah.
Like you need the other players. Like,
have you played this, Greg?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I played the other 2 in the series, but I haven't gotten
here's
to this one
here's
yet.
the big thing about this one.
Hopefully,
is
by the
not
time
just,
people watch this, I have. But
know
as
how
of recording
Forbidden-
date, I have not.
You know how Forbidden Island is, where you can your tiles can see
Yeah.
and stuff. This one has the added advantage of there's lightning that can kill you, or you can get blown off of things, which will also kill
Am I
you.
playing it right?
'Cause
Exactly.
You're up in the sky, so either you're getting hit by lightning or you're
Yeah.
getting blown off platforms and losing rope. And so you need your other characters to either heal you or protect you from lightning. So it's very, very specific where you want to place your guy, because you want to end your turn on a Faraday cage so you don't get hit by lightning, or you want to end up somewhere where you can anchor so you don't get blown off of stuff. And the wind moving around and changing and blowing you different directions
You look like John
is
Lennon.
super. It's super. So like I spent a turn to move 3 up so that I could finish the circuit, and then
We're getting a peek into your guys' bedroom here.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
She
I'm
wants.
actually for once really excited about the game I'm doing, and she like won't
I'm so sorry.
Killing me.
She's more interested in your
I can't help
reflective
myself.
nipples.
So for example, with the wind and the way it moves around, like I spent 3 turns to move up and then do an action. I said, next turn I'm going to move up again and then finish, and then we'll complete the cycle. The wind blew me back 3 spaces.
Here's the thing that
So
I
it
think-
reset me.
Here's what's hitting
completely.
me with this already is you're so excited about it, and you haven't even gotten to the part where
Like
Yeah.
there's
you're
a
actually
giant
building
spaceship
a circuit.
and stuff.
Yeah, you're
and
building a circuit.
like
so
this
you're-
thing will light up and make rocket ship
goes pew,
noises.
pew, pew.
and
Look at this.
stuff.
Pew,
It
pew,
connects.
pew.
It's got magnets. These connect. You have to make these connect, and you have
All
to
the
play
more reason why to put them
Can
there.
you-
I mean,
tassels.
that's
Do I
right.
need to
You
leave?
have to.
What's happening?
You have
Is
to
there
make
a
these
private
connect.
room in this game store for you two? Because we need to take care of some business and get our mind back on the.
I'm sorry. I'm
subject
so
at hand.
distracted.
She didn't
right
even
now,
get to
okay.
the lightning rods and where these would
No,
be
I
placed.
showed off the
Oh.
lightning rods
Oh
and where those
my.
go.
Also go.
Okay, right?
Or other places.
Oh, I was imagining. And magic trick.
Yikes.
Magic trick.
It's really a good
Watch
game
the
because
lightning rod
as
disappear.
you're playing it, you have to put the lightning rods down, but you're making more places where the lightning can hit you. So it gets more dangerous the more you're completing the game.
Can you demonstrate is there a way to quickly
Yeah.
just link the things so
Yeah,
they
go ahead
can
and-
see the ship
go ahead
light
and
up
link
and
'em up.
stuff? We'll
So-
filibuster while you do that.
Here's the big thing about this game is that
Real.
I feel like moving from Forbidden Island to Forbidden Sky, that there's so much more going on in this game because you are trying to mitigate the lightning strikes, plus being pushed off, plus trying to build this circuit, plus trying to put down terrain that you can move across, because the bridge that you are building, there's sky parts, and if you link up a bridge in the wrong way, you can't cross over certain parts.
So is this by far the most challenging
Yes.
of the 3?
The most challenging of the 3, and plus you have to really figure out how you're going to build that circuit, because not only for placement, but also for not getting shocked, because
Yeah.
you kind of want to build it away from you and have it follow you. You know what I'm
the closer
saying?
you get to winning the game, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
So every turn gets harder.
That's cool.
Yeah,
It
because you
escalates.
still have that. The storm is building level
Aspect,
meter.
yeah.
Yeah, where the first one you're drawing 1 card, then you're drawing 2 cards, then you're drawing 3 cards. By the time you get that 3 cards,
Yeah.
you're pretty much boned on the rest of the game.
You guys ready to see what happens
You
if
better
you
be in
win?
a Faraday cage, okay?
Yeah, light it up. Yeah, let's get some audio on that.
Are we lit up? No, am I not doing it right?
I don't know. I've never
Did you
played.
fail at your circuit?
Come on, man.
I'm not an electrical engineer.
Plot twist,
all
he's an
right?
electrical engineer. Oh, wait. You're not?
No.
All this time.
Why is my circuit not working?
Probably because you don't know. You got to put the circuit on the other end, so it makes a connection all the way around.
there we go.
Oh, get the audio. Get some audio.
Mother.
So cool. So cool.
I just
sweet.
think it's
well, and
cool
there's
that
fire on the bottom and stuff whenever
Yeah.
it happens.
No, it's
so
cool.
they've
This
really
game
upped
is-
the production
Every time I
value.
play
mean,
this,
that's-
people come over and they're like, "Can we play it again?" Everyone's been really excited
Yeah.
about it. It's a really
So
good
I'm glad
game.
that's not just the gimmick of the rocket ship and the
No.
circuits.
No, not
it's
at
actually
all.
a really cool game too.
No,
That-
the actual circuit portion and the rocket just are like the icing on this huge
Yeah.
on this
Forbidden
already good
Sky
cooperative.
cake.
They've taken
Yeah.
the lessons they've learned from the first 2 and made the 3rd one amazing. They
Right.
even have the ship from the second one.
Oh
is
yeah,
on
they
here.
have the little the ship from the
So the
second one
ship
on
you
there, like it
escape the
landed
desert
there,
and it,
escaping the
Oh,
desert.
so they're all
nice.
connected,
Isn't
right?
that
That's
so
cool.
cool?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the winds here on this, so the winds don't blow you in just one direction all the time. You change it, and the winds will start blowing you in different directions with this.
This seems like it's going to sell like crazy.
Yeah.
It's an amazing game.
There's very few
Everybody
games that I
I've
can
played
lose
this
at
with
and
is
still
just
enjoy.
they're just blown away by this game.
'Cause co-op games,
they're
it's all about
blown
beating them,
away
right?
by this
For
game.
the most part, co-op games, you want to win more than you lose. This one, I lose. I've lost 3 times in a row, and I'm still I love this game.
Yeah, so game's right, doing it right. Man, this was fantastic. It was worth it for that ship in there. I'm glad you guys put the ship in there, because I read something where they're the one thing that we didn't want to do was put batteries in games, and they're but we made the exception on this one, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you made the exception, because the rocket ship in this is freaking awesome.
If you
It's
have 60
so
minutes,
satisfying.
You've got 2 to 5 friends, and you're all of 10 plus.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this one. So even a heavier board gamer, kind of a middle board
Absolutely.
gamer, our more party board gamers, everyone has loved it so far.
Everybody
I
has
haven't heard
loved it.
anybody not like it.
Right.
It's good. Please pick it up.
All right, Greg, what do you got this for us this week?
All right, I already pulled the lid off of this.
This better
one.
be as good as Forbidden Sky.
Hail HYDRA.
So this is kind of cool. There's a cutout in the lid, and it shows this
Here, let me
emblem.
see that lid.
Yeah. There's a cut on the lid, and it
Look at
shows this
that.
emblem, and then this is kind of like a cool flap. Here, I'm going to put the mic down for a second.
That's pretty cool.
You can see, like, the artwork on the inside. This is,
wow, that's
marble
nice.
themed. So here's your board, and then it has the cool. Here we go. I'll pull this out, and then I'll get my mic back. It's got the cool little like Avengers tower that you're used to, and that marks like how much damage has been done to
The
the
pieces
city.
in this are so
this
cool,
is- this
guys.
has got really good
The
production.
on this is really impressive. And then here's like the bad guys you're fighting. I'll put some up on the board. Let me find a
You
cool
are
one.
Shield.
Yeah,
Loyalty.
here's like Kingpin. Cool, like kind of comic booky art. On the back, it shows you like a skull rating, so you know how difficult they are.
Oh, really?
And you have to like create a deck based off of like player count, how complex you want to play. You create like a deck of villains that you're fighting against, and you're all heroes. And they've got all the heroes you're used to. They've got the Hulk and She-Hulk and Spider-Man, and they all have their own special abilities.
Hydra.
So you're all working together to fight off these supervillains with cards, little Hobbit cards here, Hobbit-sized cards. And they'll just have like totals, and you're all contributing cards to the cause to fight them off, kind of like Dark Moon style or BSG, more like BSG, I should say. But of course, this is a hidden role social deduction game, so you've got the little secret identity. So everyone looks good on the outside. Oh, you think your friend is Black Panther, but he's actually
Working for Hydra.
Hydra. And so there's also these minus cards. So everyone's
Oops, technical difficulties.
mic drop. You're actually
This is why we don't let them usually hold the mic.
This is why you can't usually hold the mic, guys, okay?
a microphone
This
challenge.
is a real problem for you.
So everyone's contributing these cards, and then you're revealing them one at a time. You're adding up the total. You're figuring out if you have enough to like do the hit point damage you need to take out the bad guy. If you don't kill them in a given round, then they have their attack back. They damage the city you're trying to protect, and they potentially have other effects as well. So there's all this whole deduction element of like who put the negative numbers in there. Who
Okay.
did we have in on this quest? So I mean, it borrows from Resistance, it borrows from Secret
So the
Hitler.
best part of a social deduction game, but then you brand it with a
But then
great
you brand it,
franchise.
and you have this great production.
Yeah, this looks really good.
It was cool.
The production is really good
It
on
was
this,
cool.
guys.
It was a little clunky for us just because none of us had played before. We were kind of learning as we were going. I
Okay.
think everyone walked away going, "Oh, this is obviously a good game."
Well, I like how
and
you
we
have
wanna
like
play it some more.
the villain, and you're like trying to take down the
Yeah.
city here on this board. So it's not like
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that theme.
and then depending on like player count and difficulty level, you can start with like different amounts of hit points and stuff.
I love the little video they have for this game too, because like in the video for this game, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I was walking by the stand whenever they had this up and they were showing it, and it's like we don't know if you're loyal or if you're Hydra, and they're flipping over the player token like this, and the girl is giving like the dude the dirtiest look, like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, she knows you're
She
Hydra.
knows.
She knows.
The other thing that's cool about this is if you suspect someone, there's like these voting stages. So in between rounds of like trying to fight off the bad guys,
Okay.
You can try to out them.
you can do like a 1, 2, 3 point and vote. And if someone gets the majority votes, then they're not allowed to like help fight this as long as you're fighting this villain. So you
Really?
can kind of like boot them out, but they can still hand cards to people, and they know who the other bad guy is. So if that person actually is bad, you can go, well, why'd you hand cards to that person?
Right. Oh, that's a
So
whole
they
new
can-
level. Okay,
so they
that's
can
a
make
whole new
someone
level
look
of things.
suspicious,
Yeah.
or they can actually help out the other person that they know is bad. And so
okay.
there's,
I like that a
but
lot.
they're not out permanently, and they still have a role to play.
Yeah.
So this is very smart. I think this is like the next step in this sort of evolution of
social deduction
social
games
deduction
that they have
hidden
going
role
on.
games.
Yeah.
Having this really fun, accessible theme on it.
The theme is amazing.
Great
And the box
components,
looks
great
so
production.
cool. The box looks
yeah,
so cool.
I really want to play it some more. I think it potentially could be a huge hit.
How many players does this go up to?
My girl, Spider-Gwen.
Good question. It goes up to 8.
Eight
so
players?
It's not like some games in this genre that can go up to 10, unfortunately.
The
But
box is really cool, though.
yeah,
I think 8's enough, though.
but
It looks good.
8's gonna work 9 times out
I'll
of 10.
cut to my less favorite friends.
Yeah, we don't have to invite you.
Well, yeah,
or- I mean,
Okay.
but yeah.
Fantastical.
No, this is cool. And there's a little more going on, but that's the basic sort of. Sorry.
It's okay. He's never
I really
used a mic
am mic'd.
before.
I'm not
It's
used to
fine.
this stuff in my face.
You're okay. Well, I can understand that. I mean, Dr. GloryHoundd had a hard time with that as well in the beginning.
Yeah, now I can actually have 2 mics same time.
That's right.
Oh, let's demonstrate.
3 mics same time. Wow.
That's an all new
Wow.
record. It's a new record.
Don't you have a gag reflex?
I do actually.
So yeah, Hail Hydra. I mean,
That's what you want to say in the beginning.
Yeah, so Hail HYDRA.
Hail HYDRA.
that's the name of it again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm dying to play this some more. I think it's really cool, and they have a quick play version as well.
oh, do they really? What's different between the real one and then like
less
the quick play?
villains, so less rounds. You know, you have less hit points, so the city can potentially die faster as
And this
well.
is not out yet, correct?
I think this was a Gen Con release.
Just Gen
You
Con.
tell
Yeah, it's
us.
a Gen Con
Yeah.
release.
So
Man, I
so
want this.
Some people
So
have
not
it.
just
I
yet,
do too.
not just
this isn't
yet.
my copy. Thanks by the way to Dan King for letting us
Oh
borrow.
yeah, Dan King's
the
awesome.
copy.
He let us borrow
But
it. So
I'm the Game Boy Geek. Yeah, I'm definitely tempted
Yeah.
to pick this one up because
those cards are really cool because it's like mist, and then you can like negate something, or you can add
And
to
what we
it
did is we always revealed them
with
one
a
at a time.
skillful attack.
And we kept like the running total. So it'd be
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh, we have 4. Oh, now we have 1. Oh,
Well, so
now we
that's-
have 7. Oh, now we have
That's the
3,
best
you know.
thing about Resistance is I would always take the
Yeah.
cards and I would flip them and I'd make sure if there
It
was
gives
any
it like
negatives.
a thematic
Ramp up the
to it.
suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
if there was ever any
Right.
negatives, I'd always put them at the bottom, so it'd always be like,
Oh,
oh, we're
nice.
passing, we're
So-
passing, we're passing, and
Well,
oh,
and this mechanic is totally borrowed from Battlestar Galactica.
So
which does the same thing.
everybody gets a person that they play,
Right, they
as
get
well as if they're Hydra or not.
As well as an alliance
Captain
token.
America can be Hydra.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's that one time when he was in the comic book and
I
he
was
was
gonna say,
playing
did
that
you not-
he was Hydra.
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
Did you see
say,
my
like
look
a
at
few
disgust?
months.
Like,
I
you
know
didn't
you were
know
like,
this?
What
how
kind of geek
dare
are
you
you?
not know?
No, I
How
was like,
dare
you don't know the controversy of Captain America saying Hail Hydra? That's
And it's
like,
got a lot of the characters everyone loves. You know, Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Agent
Spider-Gwen.
Coulson.
Spider-Gwen,
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen.
Oh, really?
And I think the art is really cool. They all have their own special abilities.
Where's Deadpool?
There's a bonus.
Agent Coulson's in here.
Yeah, I just showed him earlier. There's a bonus if you are bad and you reveal early, then you get like extra abilities.
Oh,
So you
really?
have to kind of weigh like, do I want to stay hidden or do I want to come out in the open and reveal that I'm Hydra?
Oh, that's really cool.
Deadpool is not family friendly enough to be in here.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's no Deadpool. But this is, I mean, think about the potential for expansions with this game too.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's true.
there's such an extensive universe with Marvel.
That's
they could
true.
come out with all kinds of extra
Does each
villains,
player
extra
have
heroes.
Does each player have a special ability then?
Yeah,
you
one
said?
time.
Yeah?
Everyone has
Okay.
a one-time special ability.
Okay, that's cool.
They've got Red Skull in here, Green Goblin,
Yeah, now this-
Abomination.
this looks like it's gonna be another really great game.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is one. Okay, so they also did what was it? 5-minute
Marvel.
Yeah, they also did 5-minute Marvel.
We played that night
which
too.
was like a reskin, but I much prefer this from this company because like this seems like a really cool, innovative.
Because it's not just a reskin.
Right, it's not just a reskin. Like it's like they took the Marvel name, they did something really cool with it, as opposed to like 5-minute dungeon, which I'm not saying 5-minute dungeon is bad because I own like the original from Kickstarter and stuff. Like we backed that. I love 5-minute dungeon, but I'm not excited to go out and get 5-minute Marvel because I'm like, it's just
more of the
like
same in a way.
I played it. It doesn't feel like it changes it enough. But I think if
So
you
it's
love
kind of
that,
one of those,
if you
one or the other, or if you played a lot, you get it because you just want variety.
Right.
or you
right.
love the theme, and so
Yeah.
you go, well, it's the same basic game, but I really want to be Spider-Man instead of generic,
Right.
fantasy character number 3 or whatever.
generic fantasy character.
That's
number
actually
3.
what I name all my RPG characters.
That is. That was
Generic
that was the
player
name
3.
of my paladin last time.
And then when
we
they
played.
die, it's generic player 3 junior.
Yeah.
So I mean, this
Part
one,
2.
this one like, this one like 5-minute Marvel definitely borrows from other games you've seen before, but I
Right.
think it does it in a
How do
more
you not with
interesting,
social
evolved.
deduction?
Yeah, I mean, that you go, oh, that part's like Secret Hitler. Oh, that part's like Resistance. Oh, that.
But if
part's
it's
like
taking the best parts-
BSG. But
Yeah.
it takes all the best parts and puts them
I
in
was
this
gonna
cool
say,
thematic package.
If they do
so.
take all the best parts and put it in one really cool thematic package, like I'm all for that.
I've only
because-
played it once, but I mean, I'm dying to play it more, and I think it's going to continue to be a hit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I've only heard good things about this game.
Yeah.
Especially whenever I was at Gen Con. It was like by the second day in, they were like, "Oh man, you got to go check out Hail HYDRA. You got to go check it out." And I was like, "What?" Like,
I was hearing that buzz
crazy.
back at home. I was hearing
Yeah.
people going,
Yeah.
"Oh, Hail HYDRA!
Oh,
you
this
gotta,
is a good one.
You got to play it if you get
Yeah.
a chance
Yeah,
to."
you were
Right.
drooling on the way to go see
Yeah.
this game.
And I told I told Dan actually. I was like, because he was at Gen Con. I was like,
Yeah.
make sure you get a copy of Hail
Pick
HYDRA.
up one of those.
I'm not sure if it was on his radar
I
yet
want
or
to play.
not,
I want to play.
but so
Yeah. All right. Well,
So we got some good games we played.
yeah, that was that was a lot
recommend
of new cool stuff. Talk
Forbidden
about
Sky, Hail
Yeah,
HYDRA,
Hail HYDRA,
Christmas.
yeah.
If it,
And it sounds like
comes to be that time.
Sweet
Expancity
Christmas.
is a distant third.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably a pass.
Yeah, that's probably a pass on that one. But, thank you so much for watching us today. Go ahead and like and subscribe. do some comments too. We like talking about stuff. Like, continue the conversation. If you played Expancity and you liked it, tell us why. Or if you played Hail HYDRA and you hated it, tell us why. Like, we want to know. Okay, and do the bell. There's a bell.
Subscribe.
There's a bell thing somewhere around here.
Ring their bell.
Our shenanigans are on there. And Greg, where can we check you out at?
Hooked on Geek, new episode every Monday, new podcast episode every Monday. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.
Dr. GloryHoundd?
I'm Dr. GloryHoundd on Twitter and on Instagram if you want to see some of the new pictures I've been posting.
On Instagram, he's Dr._GloryHoundd.
That is true.
Welcome to Instagram, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been enjoying having you.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And you can also catch us on Twitch. I'm on the GloryHoundd channel.
Right. Yeah, so on Twitch, we're going to be doing some live streaming every Wednesday, and we're just going to be there playing games. So, we're super excited to start doing that.
We were playing Forbidden Sky.
And
Gunky Mono.
And they may or may not be drunk.
Well,
yeah.
If we're playing microbrew, maybe. All right, guys, have a good night.